Eurasia Review, 13th of February 2024, East India Company to India, BRI to Nepal-OpEd. China supported and instigated the communist insurgency in Nepal to overthrow the country's current government through force. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, the Chinese Dragon is making its way into Nepal during the Year of the Dragon. This road infrastructure belt will cinch the region from west to east across Nepal. The Chinese Dragon is, therefore, prepared to choke off Nepal's economy. 1600, the East India Enterprise, EIC, was established as a commercial enterprise. The EIC pillaged the Indian subcontinent with the help of a sizable private army and the support of the British government. Through the EIC, Britain carried out its colonial objectives in Asia and amassed millions of dollars from the world's commerce in opium, tea, textiles, and spices. India, on the other hand, kept getting impoverished. Before British domination, India's GDP share of the world declined from 24.4% in 1700 to 4.2% in 1950. Tharoor states, "It was easy to understand. India was run with Britain's interests in mind. India's wealth was the driving force behind Britain's ascent for 2 centuries." At a Pokhara awareness event, the Rashtriya Ekta Abhiyan raised concerns about the BRI and its possible effects on Nepal. The Pokhara International Airport served as the protest's central hub. Even while the airport wasn't formally a part of the Belt and Road Initiative, Chinese banks supplied most of the funding, and a Chinese company built the infrastructure. Though Kathmandu had doubts, Beijing argued that the project was a part of the BRI. Using financial losses at the airport as a pretext, the organization claimed that there might be hidden agendas, including the possible deployment of Chinese troops in Pokhara. BRI Initiative. The Trans-Himalayan Multidimensional Connectivity Network, THMCN, Nepal's premier BRI project, involves a cross-border train that links Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, with China's Tibet Autonomous Region. In 2018, talks were also on extending to Pokhara and Lumbini. The Dhamma Clean Industrial Park, also called the China-Nepal Friendship Industrial Park, is in Japa. With an anticipated expenditure of $586 million, the first phase intends to develop an area of 424.81 hectares over 3 years, including 133.33 hectares of core land. In the first phase of the industrial park, 192 small, medium, and large firms are anticipated to be established. Delays originating in Nepal. This train link has not yet been realized because of engineering challenges brought on by the steep topography that descends from the Tibetan Plateau to the low Nepal valleys, prohibitive costs, and geopolitical issues. Additionally, critics have brought up that the state of the current highways leading to Kodari and Rajvagadi has not been upheld to international standards by the successive administrations of Nepal. Nepal's railway network. While delays have beset the necessary train infrastructure in Nepal, China-Tibet progress has been steadily advancing. The 435 km Lhasa-Nyingchi electrified high-speed rail (HSR) segment was opened in June 2021 by China. It travels alongside the Brahmaputra, Tsangpo, river and crosses 121 bridges and 47 tunnels. The new Sichuan-Tibet Railway includes the bullet train. Media reports state that if this railway section is connected to Karung via Lhasa and Shigatse, it would put Chengdu within 19 hours of the Nepal border and Lhasa within 6 hours. The Friendship Industrial Park of China and Nepal. 363.74 hectares will be developed in the second phase and 372.04 in the third. Concurrent improvements to living quarters will provide industrial and urban symbiosis. In the fourth and final phase, 436.21 hectares of land will be developed to develop commercial real estate and industries related to science, education, research, and development, as well as to enhance the industrial structure and building auxiliary facilities. By 2030, the industrial park is expected to employ 60,000 workers, accommodate 100,000 permanent inhabitants, and produce an output value of $5 billion. In Nepal, the BRI is still all but non-existent. 2017, a BRI Memorandum of Understanding was signed between China and Nepal. Almost 7 years have passed since then, and not a single project under the program has been carried out because, in contrast to Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and other African countries, successive governments in Nepal have been reluctant to borrow money from Beijing. Rather than taking out high-interest Chinese loans, Kathmandu has been eager to receive grants. At the same time, concerns have been raised about China's economic diplomacy and debt trap. China's BRI debt trap's economic diplomacy. Aid data, March 27, 2023, shows that by the end of 2021, China has made 128 rescue loan operations, totaling $240 billion across 22 debtor countries. Numerous so-called rollovers in which the same short-term loans are repeatedly extended to refinance maturing debts, are part of these operations. The BRI has engulfed nations in massive debt, and the IMF's multiple loan initiatives for developing countries produce the same debt traps. There are increasing indications of disenchantment among the supposedly BRI-aided nations. Significant implementation issues, such as corruption scandals, quality issues, labor violations, environmental risks, and public demonstrations, have been encountered by many BRI infrastructure projects. There is an increase in project cancellations and suspensions. BRI debt trap diplomacy presents loans or projects with repayment conditions that are ultimately too demanding for the countries receiving them, forcing them to make economic or political sacrifices. China has solidified its position as an economic powerhouse with the ability to lend enormous sums of money to nations with high interest rates through the BRI. China seems to have designed its lending policies and interest rates to trap the borrowing nation in an unending debt spiral. China then takes control of a nation's economy, increasing reliance when that nation cannot pay back the loans. We hope and wish that our friendly neighbor Nepal has learned from the experiences of Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and some African countries about how to avoid falling into the Chinese BRI debt traps through economic diplomacy and instead make decisions that are in the best interests of the nation as a whole.